You know, just again, like my mom had her hands full. You know, she didn't talk about money being a problem, but I could see that she was scared. She's clipping coupons. It's the culture, right? You're being boiled, you're being made ready in a soup. The culture is the soup, and you're being cooked in the soup, and that's where we're 16 years old, I smoked weed for the first time. Like we have the worst problem in society, boredom.
Still a problem there.
Today? Oh, for everybody, not just me. But this is my projection on all of mankind. But when people are bored, they become problematic. You do drugs enough, it won't matter what your DNA is. You do anything enough. You go into a casino enough times and play enough times, you'll become addicted. Just like a game. Like you play a game enough times, enough levels of Candy Crush, and you'll want to get to the next level. So, and that's what happened with drugs. It was 15 years old to 25 for 10 years, some 9.5 years. I used drugs almost every day. The drugs are one thing, but the degradedness of the individual.
It chips away at your self-esteem little by little by little, right?
And then by chunks, and then by big blocks. So by the time I'm 20, by the time I'm 19, I was as close to zero as a person can get. And I'll go lower than that.
And when you're 20, your older brother dies.
Yeah, when I was 20,
so you know, I like to know what's going on. So, and that doesn't help anything, right?
Well, my dad died when I was 10.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, man, life is short here. My brother dies 10 years later. I talked to him the night before. It was Sunday night, I talked to him. Monday morning, he was dead. So all these messages, you're getting punched. Like even John Kennedy's death, right?
It's a big deal, right? I don't think people understand.
I was 5 years old, man. I'm 5 years old. I'm in a house. I don't even know what I'm watching. I just know that there's grief in my house, punching in a message.
The time is now.
Yeah, exactly. Time is now. Be in a hurry. I did not have to go down that path to find who I am. That guy was always there. You know, the guy I am today was always there. You could not kill him with drugs. And you know, now coming out of the treatment center, they tried to get rid of that guy. That guy is the guy, you know, the obsessed guy, the guy that can throw himself all into something, the drug addict.
Yeah.
Do you want that guy?
You want that guy, because that's the guy that makes things happen.
That guy is relentless. Right. You want that. You want that.
But rehab wants to get rid of that guy. They want to keep you in fear a little bit.
They think that guy's the problem. That guy's not the problem. The drugs were the problem. Okay. The lack of self-esteem was the problem. The boredom was the problem. I'll talk about boredom. Like boredom is the drug you need to avoid. Because that's where people start making bad choices. Typically, they don't become a drug addict. They become a consumer of garbage. Right? They waste time. They consume excuses. You know, so that happened here. I see that here a lot. So I'm 23. I'm in the hospital. I'm gonna quit drugs now. I was doing drugs before the day was over. I couldn't stop, man.
Yeah.
So 2 years would go by. I continued my behavior. You would think this would be the one, right? And my mom, you know, my mom had this little business going on. She was trying to run this little business. And I walked in, I was all sloppy, loaded. She's like, I'm done. Don't come here anymore. You're not welcomed here anymore. This might be the last time we see each other. And I was in a treatment center 30 days later. I didn't want to do it. I had tried to quit. You know the deal. At least 10 times a day. I quit drugs for 9 years. Today, I'm gonna quit. 5 minutes later, I'm using it. And then I'd say, okay, I'm gonna quit. That's it, I'm done. I'm not gonna throw it away yet, but I'm done. And then an hour and a half later, dude, I'm doing drugs again. So every day, it's not just the drugs. It's not just what you're doing to your body. It's like the number of times I quit and couldn't quit, right? And then started again. Like, you know, it's just like you start like losing any sense of self-respect. Well, I mean, I know the intention's good, but most of them today are producing a different kind of drug addict. You know, they're going. I'm going in on some, you know, one drug and coming out on phenobarbital. I mean, they gave me drugs while I was there. Okay. They said, don't not take these. You need this drug. You are a drug addict. You will never recover. It is a disease. You have it. You cannot recover from it no matter what. Give up all your ideas. You know the whole inventory thing. You do the inventory
and you told them, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, he's like, man, give up. He's like, you'll never make it. He's like, your chance of making it. I said, oh, really? Why am I going to fail? He's like, and I had 28 days now. I'm like, shit, dude, I just quit using drugs for 28 days. So really all I needed. Right? I needed to know I could go some period of time without using drugs. So he...
and that was it, no relapse after that?
There's never been a relapse.
It's crazy.
So he said, if you hold on to these ideas of the books and being famous and getting rich and all the stuff that I told him was underneath all this that I'd been covering up, right? You'll never make it. Be satisfied. I can't, it's the echo in my mind of him saying, be satisfied with one thing. Don't use drugs one day at a time. If that's all you get out of life, I'm like, fuck this, dude. That will not be what I'm known for.
Yeah.
And I went to meetings after that, and I kept hearing that. But I kept hearing it from people that didn't recover more than just the drug addiction or the alcoholism. The rest of their life never recovered. Well, because I came back and I started working. I just threw my addiction into work. I needed something to throw into, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I have to stay busy. Time is my enemy. Time is my problem. When there's too much time, Grant goes freaking nuts. So like sales, hated sales.
People will be shocked to hear you say that.
Hated it. I was in 5 sales jobs, was a disaster at all of them. Hated, absolutely hated.
But you're the master of sales.
I am. I embrace the things I hate. Who are you? Like, who's taking care of you then? How arrogant. I have to be frequent. I've never gotten good at anything. Everything's it's been a lot of work for me. So everything for me, whether I'm that little uncoordinated kid, it's taken a lot. It's taken me 30 years to find any kind of success or any sense of, okay, I'm starting to find myself. Probably 2,000 or 3,000 speaking engagements before I felt like I was comfortable on stage. 3 businesses that were freaking jamming before I said, you might actually be
good at the things you didn't even like to do.
Dude,
that's been your modus operandi for the last 30 years.
Totally. Poor people, poor people are extremely selfish people. And the concept here is you're thinking about yourself all the time. What you don't have, what you need, your clothing, your shelter, your excuses, your problems. And I say that with no sympathy. Because sympathy's not gonna feed you. Okay? The poor people, and people, by the way, that just get by are poor. So really the thing we need to define here is what is poor, right?
Yeah,
Almost everyone living below your potential, you're probably poor. You're not rich, you're not prosperous, you're poor, which is the middle class of the planet. I'm not talking about poverty. That guy's not poor. That guy he's out of choices. He's got to beg. The poor, the middle class, the described poor, middle class, nice name to keep everybody civil. The Americans are like, we can't do the class thing. If we do it, we got to get that middle class, right, to feel good about themselves.
So they give them the cars and the over-leveraged homes, and they make them feel like they're rich, but they're not.
Yeah, like let's give them homes, let's give them cars, let's indebt them, give them a good job, give them a good office, big watches, and we got slaves. But they feel good about it because they're better off than some, starving kid in Ethiopia. So that's why I say, man, look, the middle class is a group of selfish, self-absorbed, think about themselves. I'm not going to be a salesman. I'm better than that. I'm a banker, dude. I'm the vice president without a job. I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to use Facebook and Instagram. I'm not going to do that to get known. I'm not going to go to that meeting. Instagram is a giant stadium with spectators. Get on the field, bro.
in the arena. Theodore Roosevelt.
Get in the fight. Get in the fight. It's the best place to be. It's the safest place in the arena. It's on the field.
Safest place.
Safest place in the arena.
Why?
Because, you know, if something goes bad in that arena, dude, that field is safe. The floor, the court is the safest place in the arena.